back in 2021, we got a little game called Neo: The World Ends With You, a sequel to the 2007 DS game, The World Ends With You. It took 14 years for this beloved cult classic to receive any kind of follow-up, and it didn't sell that well. You already read the title of this video. This is just kind of my way of coping, because it will probably be a long time till we ever see the series again. Plus, I think it's still kind of fun to speculate on what direction the series might take next, whenever that may be. Both The World Ends With You and its sequel are two of my favorite games of all time. So naturally, I have strong feelings on the matter, which means I feel the need to make a video about it, you know, like any normal person would do. So here's 3 things I would want in a hypothetical TWEWY 3. Number 1, a new cast of characters. When Neo TWEWY was first announced to have a new cast of characters, I was very hesitant to accept the idea at first. I mean, we had waited so long for a sequel, and we're not even gonna get a major focus on the original cast. Why should I even care about these new guys? Of course, when I actually played the game for myself, I ended up falling in love with basically all of the new characters, so the joke's on me, I guess. Now, Neo TWEWY was given the tall order of not only having to focus on a new cast of characters, but also having to follow up on the massive cliffhanger created by A New Day in TWEWY Final Remix. Because of this, the endgame can feel a bit unsatisfying or confusing for any new players who aren't familiar with the first game, as it may feel like the new characters are being pushed aside for these other guys. I personally didn't have a problem with this. I think the game did the best it could balancing both casts of characters, but if we do get a third game, I would prefer if it's strictly focused on new characters. This way there's no chance of them potentially getting shoved aside for older characters. If the focus is strictly placed on new characters, then there's also more opportunities to flesh them out and mine fun interactions out of them, which Neo handled very well with its cast. Plus, I don't really need to see the cast of Neo or the original TWEWY again. Their stories are more or less complete, besides maybe Sho, Joshua, and Haz. Doing it this way also means there are no excuses newcomers can make for not jumping into the series at when it would be the most accessible. Number 2, a new setting. I think Neo staying in Shibuya and largely sticking to the same aesthetic was the right move. It had been so long since the original game, just giving us more of that visual style was enough. Though of course it was updated with brighter color palettes for the environments. Now that we've explored Shibuya twice over, I think it's time to switch things up a little. Now, you could simply choose another Tokyo prefecture, Edogawa, Arakawa, maybe even Shinjuku, but I think there's an opportunity here to explore other countries in a unique way. One part of TWEWY that I think goes severely underappreciated is how versatile its premise is. You can set a Reaper's game basically anywhere with any set of characters and get something interesting out of it. The Reaper's game is a brilliant way of exploring how people react in life-threatening situations and the ways they're forced to confront the worst parts of themselves. The Reaper's game can also be a great opportunity to explore little microcosms of various parts of the world. Imagine a Reaper's game set in New York, Mumbai, London, Mexico City, Moscow, Dublin, Rome, Athens, wherever the hell you want it, really. Hell, you can even get more creative and have the Reaper's game set during different time periods. I mentioned New York earlier. Now imagine a game set in Roaring 20s New York, or Rome during the height of the Roman Empire's reign. There is the potential for the setting to conflict with the aesthetic. TWEWY is best known for this graffiti-esque art style and its large number of vocal tracks consisting of rap, pop, and hard rock, which could potentially clash with the settings in different time periods. I think it would be cool to see TWEWY experiment with different music genres to better match the different time periods, but that might make it less recognizable as a TWEWY game and take away from the series' unique identity. So it would probably be best to keep the series set in modern times for a third game. Though, I'm just saying, I think you could get away with some rock and metal in a medieval Europe setting. Number 3, expanded lore. One thing that I think TWEWY 3 needs to do is expand the lore in some significant way. And when I say significant, I mean some huge expansion of a previously mysterious part of the lore, or something completely new that changes the way we view the universe of TWEWY. Now, Personally, I would love to get a peek behind the curtain of what the angels are up to in the higher plane. We still know barely anything about them besides how they watch over humanity and try to pick out the best of the best to become angels themselves, but we still don't know if there's any larger purpose to the way they handle things. Now, granted, giving us a glimpse into the higher plane and its inner workings may remove some of the mystery and intrigue that comes from it, but I think there's something potentially even more interesting a potential TWEWY 3 could tackle. Both the original and Neo have a feature called the Esper rank and Psychic ranks, respectively. Your Esper rank is determined by the amount of Esper points you collect, and the Psychic rank is essentially a way of keeping track of your achievement completion. Each rank has a name, and most of them are references to titles found in canon: Reaper, Conductor, Angel, etc. One curious detail in both games is the presence of a rank titled Demon, and the original even has a rank called God. It's a strange detail as neither the word demon or god are used to describe any person or race anywhere in the series. Why mix in these seemingly unrelated terms with titles that do exist in canon, unless demons and gods actually do exist in the TWEWY universe? Now, I don't imagine a TWEWY 3 tackling God or gods, since that would probably be a step up from angels, which we don't know that much about. But I think demons could be on the table. You could reasonably introduce them into the universe as some kind of outside or competing force separate from the Reapers and Angels managing the Reapers game. Or hell, maybe they are part of the system and have some other role in managing the game and the status quo that we don't know of yet. There's potential to do something new here that could potentially shift the way we look at the universe of TWEWY forever. So yeah, those are 3 things I would want to see in a potential TWEWY 3. I'm not really sure how to end the video, so I'm gonna need you to pretend I said something absolutely hilarious that also ties the whole video together. Okay, bye, I guess.